this process, we are working with change agents to start handling issues in a more organized manner, follow through a systematic process, bring people together, and start with bringing people together, as many as possible, those you feel can support you in creating this positive and supportive school. So once these people come together, they brainstorm about the key issues affecting the school. Out of the many issues, we know there are a host of issues. They make a priority which one to start with. So these people start thinking together. But as you know, some could be too busy, the group could be too large. They identify a specific team of people to handle specific issues. This team comes together to go to level 2, which is understanding the issue. So they sit together, try to dig deeper into the issue to understand how does it affect our school, who are the perpetrators, who are the victims in here, how do we know it is actually the problem. So they use different methods. They could interview different people, teachers, parents, or pupils. They could dig into available data like classroom registers, attendance, and use other methods of observation. They could observe the way learners behave around school, the way teachers behave when they interact with parents. So they use different methods of understanding. So once they understand, they come together and they say, I think actually this is a big issue affecting our school to become a better school for learners, for teachers to teach there, for parents to send their children there. So they say, what do we do? Because we have actually understood how big the problem is, then they have take time off to get a deeper individual personal reflection, or to think deeper and say, okay, this is a problem. What actions can we take to try to solve it? So they take time off, depending on the nature of the problem. It could be days or weeks, but it must be a specific time to come back. Then, it's quite important to know what time you put aside. What were you doing? So people use different methods of thinking. I could listen to soft music, and before you could take a nature walk. Some other person could sleep the first bit of the night and wakes up in the morning. But these people should think, what can we think of actions? So when they come back after the time that is given to them, then they say, okay, what did you think about? What did I think about? So they all bring actions. When I thought about this, I think we could do this, we could do that. Out of the many actions thought about, they come up with an action plan, which is step 4, where they design an action plan to say, okay, these are the things we are going to put in place to see how to sort out this problem. At this level, they start actually implementing. For example, they could say, we are going to call the parents' meeting. We are going to put up a talking compound. We are going to request parents to send locally available materials to help in the hygiene. So they start implementing at this design stage. But the work plan has to be systematic, it has to be low cost, and has to be manageable. So, and practical, where we say we are going to do 1, 2, 3. Then they put that in practice. Then that takes us to level 5, which is looking at the action put in place, which we call adoption. So when they adopt, they look at, we said we are going to do this. Is it working? Is it not working? Do we need to think again? So it's sort of like implementation and evaluation are going on at the same time to see, are we moving towards the change that we want this school to be? For example, they say parents should come regularly to visit the school. There are signs that parents are coming. If they say we're going to put up a talking compound, is there someone that has started putting up the poles? Maybe the signs are not written. So they start looking at the actions, and some of the action may not be practical enough. So someone could come and say, hey, we say we are going to do this. It's not working. Can we think again? They could say, okay, I think we need to think again, adopt more people, or draw up another plan. So basically, that's the U model. One, it has collective responsibility where different people come together. Then there is collective accountability. We say we are going to do this, and you tell us how far we are. It's like we are stopping the blame. The teacher has not done that. The teacher has not done that. The parents have not done that. So in a way, we are working as a team to promote this school to become a safe and supportive school. Basically, that's the brief of the U model. And we are trying to adopt it to every issue that these schools have, which may change the texture of the different committees of people handling this issue. Basically, at first when we present it as a model without an example, people think something different from day-to-day practices. Then when we go back and put it in practical life, that's just a method of handling issues systematically. A big number of them are getting on board.
Okay.
Sometimes people fear big terminologies, that's why we simplified it. Two, people have a thinking of money. Where shall we get money to handle issues? So at step 4, I say it must be low cost. Use the available resources. Use what is within your means. Now they are taking it up and tell them, beat just late coming at school. It's an issue to be sorted out. Be organized, work with the people. I think they are taking it up. Okay. And now we gave them an exercise to practice.
Yeah.
They are doing great work, putting it practically down to real issues, real aspects of the school environment, and it's fascinating to see them work.
Ida, I understand you enjoyed the status game.
Yes,
Could you share what you learned from this activity?
Yeah, I was very happy with the status game because as we were going through the status game, I really saw that it was bringing out the real picture of what is really happening in the schools. Because in the schools, we have people of different status. We have class monitors. For this case, we had a P2 boy, those are pupils. Then we had head teachers. Then we had leaders in the community and those other leaders. But as we were going through this status game, I realized that people can really use their power, their status, to really bulldoze, if I may so to violate these young ones. Because I saw a child, a P2 child, talking to the head teacher, and the head teacher was somehow rude. So this one wasn't good, because this child had a problem and expected the head teacher to really listen, but the head teacher did not give hand to this boy, and this one showed to me that at times, because people have that status, they are head teachers, they are what, they undermine the minors, which wasn't good. And it is real, even in our school setting. You find that these head teachers at times, the teachers don't listen to these young children, yet they have issues. And when they come to talk to them, instead of listening, understanding them, they just push them away. And I saw, because I acted as a P2 boy, when the head teacher refused to listen to me, I just ran away and decided to look for another person to talk to, and it wasn't good. Then as I was still moving, I met a wealthy man. I went to that wealthy man. I started begging for money because my home in this pretense that was a poor home. So I started asking for money from this wealthy man. But instead of this wealthy man really understanding my issue that they had chased me from school and I had spent some days without going to school, this wealthy man just pushed me away. That, you people, you are always asking for money, for money. So I couldn't talk to him. I really felt bad. And this one so happens that in our society, at times people who have money don't listen to people who are poor. They don't want to help. They sit with their money and they feel big. This man even felt so big, he was boasting very big in that manner. So they keep on boasting. This one happens in our society and that one isn't good enough. So as we played this status role, it really brought up so many issues in this. I met a policeman. The policeman talked good because I was going to cross a road and he really helped me to cross the road. Oh, you want to cross? Yes, I told him I wanted to cross. So he took me and I crossed the road. In those people I met, he was the only person that really played his role like it is made positively. And these ones do that because when children are walking on the street, they always stop the vehicles and then let children cross the roads. But the rest of the people were not good at all to me about that status.
Thank you, Aida, for that
So,
insight.
yes.
I hope this is going to help our teachers to improve on the way they are relating with the young children so that they don't misuse their status and empower them.
Yeah, we still have, now living along the status I played, now coming to the status of being a teacher, and probably one of the change agents as of now. We need to really change the attitudes of these teachers. The teachers outside there are really mistreating these young children. They no longer have time for the children, and that is the biggest problem in our schools. The primary teachers no longer have time, they no longer have love. I don't know what is going on. Probably they have so many issues in their homes. I can't tell, but they carry that whatever. I don't know, is it stress, is it problems? They carry them even to the classroom. Very few of them really listen to these children. You find that because they don't listen to the children, they don't understand what is going on with these children. Many children can't learn. They just find themselves dropping out of schools. But as a change agent, I think this was a very good innovation and it's one of the best topics we need really to dwell on as change agents, to bring out this issue of the status so that people don't use their power, status, to torture, to violate, to do wrong things on the minors, on the young children they are teaching. We need really to talk to them, and more so we need to model. Yeah, we need to model to them that handling young children, although we are here, we need to go down. Like now I'm here, I'm a principal, but none of them knows unless you tell someone. So you need to go to the level of the people and then move on well. So we need to model this.
Yes, hello Farida.
Hello.
I understand you enjoyed the activity of Vote with Your Feet.
Yeah, I did.
What did you learn from that activity?
I learned that there are so many controversial issues out there, but you have to think about it as it comes up. Because someone can say something and you feel like, okay, this might be normal. But when you think about it deeply, in most cases, it is violating. So in that game, most of the statements got me stuck in almost one place. I could always just disagree, because most of the statements were violating a child's right. Though some of them, according to societal beliefs, you would feel it is okay. Because there is one that said, a teacher should be respected at all times, even if they were beating a child. according to society, you would think, okay, a child is supposed to respect at all times. But what if this teacher, yes, he should be respected, but what if this teacher is violating? Should the child respect? If this teacher is having sexual advances against, to the child, should the child still respect? So that is what I learned from that game, that at some time, as a change agent, I need to stand my ground, protect a child's right, even when my societal beliefs might come in. I need to think about a child more than my societal beliefs, or besides what I take as a value. If it is violating, then I should take the other side of the coin.
Thank you so much. So that one brings in the issue of societal values versus the child at the center.
Because in most cases, societal values put a child at risk. Because this is what they're telling her: as a girl, you have to submit. But what if her submission is going to violate her rights? Then what happens? So as a change agent, I need to help this girl, though she is supposed to be submissive, but as a change agent, I have to teach her to be assertive at particular moments when they are violating her rights, and she should not submit.
Liz, I understand you enjoyed the activity of the gender box.
Oh yes, I did.
What did you learn from the gender box?
I learned that actually it's very important for every human being to show their ability and be given opportunity to do activities that they are able to do, other than being sidelined and told to do any activity because of being a female or being a male. And I believe it's an activity that is going to help us a lot with the teachers and our learners in this country to see development coming up and allowing children to get their opportunities and develop into the future that they have dreamed of, other than telling them you're not supposed to do this, you can't do this, and yet we've not tested whether they can do that.
And how do you think that is going to empower, especially the female girl, the female student?
Yeah, I think for the girl child, it's quite a big opportunity if the girls are helped to realize that they can do anything that they dream of, especially their roles. We have seen people talk of like becoming architects or builders or electricians, where we see people climbing electricity poles, because if they are given that opportunity, then they have self-esteem and they can express themselves, and believing that if they are taken into what they want, they can be committed into fulfilling their dreams and learning with a desire, because they will believe they can be what they want to be.
Do you think the school is the right place to change the stereotyping in our society that looks at the girl as maybe submissive to boys, and maybe as the girl inferior to the boys, and that the girl may not be able to do some of the roles that the boys do? Do you think the school can play that role, and how can it?
The school can. We have various hands in the school from the community and within the school, but what we have to do is to empower them and sensitize them of the advantages of having the gender stereotypes removed from our community. So we first empower them and equip them with that knowledge. Then after changing them, then they can be able to do that in the community, because they can easily reach the community, they can reach the children, and with the structure that is already in place, I believe the school can do that very well.
Thank you, Liz, for that.
You're welcome.